Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead whenever you're finding this. If you're watching along as I post because you're subscribed, this is for the week of November 10th through the 16th, 2025. From the Mystical Manga Tarot, first card out is Strength. Beautiful. I don't know why immediately I thought of physical strength. So a lot of you guys, if health is a concern, I feel like there is going to be a lot of improvements this week. I don't know why. I'm getting an image in my head. This is a very specific message of the inflammation of body reducing. Okay, so I don't know if you're like consuming more antioxidants, reducing stress. Sleep and rest, recovery is the most important part of getting stronger. You know, it doesn't matter if you show up and tear your muscles up at the gym every single day. Those muscles will not grow without sleep and rest. That's when they build and recover. And if you don't have that and you're over-exercising, you're overworking, you're actually just damaging yourself. Take that from me, somebody who has dealt with chronic leg injuries. But yeah, I am seeing physical strength. If any of you guys have been sick or injured, anything like that, I am feeling a lot better this week, or even possibly like well before this week, since this is your first card coming out. In these tarot spreads, the first card, it does represent to me like the sort of the beginning. How are we entering the week? What are the energies there that we're working with? So even before this week begins, you may be feeling stronger. Also, on that same timeline, you could be feeling more secure about certain things in your life, getting your finances or certain relationships into a more secure spot where it's like you know exactly where you stand with people or with things, and you got to that spot by doing some vulnerable work. Like, for example, this could be having difficult conversations with people. What are we? What's going on? Or with finances, like really taking a look at, you know, the things that you might not want to look at, you know, debts and whatnot. But you're feeling much more stronger as a result and back to a strong place. We have the Devil in reverse. This is your card, so it's actually putting you into a position of strength and power. This card is better when it's in reverse as opposed to upright because it does show lots of healing. See, this card is very sexual. Like, out of all of the cards in all my tarot decks, look at that. Wow. Anyways, some of y'all maybe improving that area of your life. Have fun. But yeah, the Devil in reverse, it shows breaking free from your own negative patterns and addictions, even ones you didn't realize, maybe coming to the light, and you're like, why do I do this? You know, why do I push myself so hard? Why do I overwork myself? And coming to terms with, like, you know, I just need to rest. I think that is a common issue amongst Capricorns: overworking, overdoing it, being overly productive, not giving yourself enough time to rest, and putting too much pressure on yourself to be everything, do everything, etc., etc. You guys represent the fathers of the zodiac, that divine masculine sort of paternal energy. Whether you're male or female, does not matter. Gender doesn't exist on this channel. But yeah, it's like you are just really wanting to show up and be your best version every single day. But you need to factor in that sometimes you're going to get sick. Sometimes you're going to get injured. Sometimes you're just going to wake up feeling tired. I feel like energy ebbs and flows. It's not always on that rigid masculine sun cycle. Sometimes it moves more like the moon, fluid. Sometimes the moon is full and expansive. Other times it's new and dark and quiet, you know, and your energy is the same. So I feel like you're just being more kind and accepting to yourself about your body's natural rhythms, and not trying to power through things like injuries, illness, whatever. You're giving yourself time, rest. Specifically. We have the Page of Swords. Okay, I just get this good feeling that A lot of you are no longer in a place in life where you tolerate confusion in your connections. And I'm picking up on a sense of gratitude that you're not there anymore. You know, maybe in the past, you were in relationships or friendships that kind of had or even just like close to people, family, whatever, that had your nervous system going haywire, like constantly on edge about like, oh, is this person going to be loving and communicative today, or are they going to be cold and mean today? You know, putting up with connections like that, you're not doing it anymore. This could be long in the past, actually, for some of you. I'm just getting this sense of like gratitude with how direct you can be with the people in your life. It feels really nice. And whenever that uncertainty pops up, or you feel yourself sort of slipping back into old negative attachment styles in relationships, or old patterns like responding to uncertainty or insecurity with something negative, like becoming avoidant, or using some sort of negative coping skill. Instead of doing that now, you're just like, wait a second, I'm slipping back. Let me talk about this. Let me communicate about this. You know, and there's so many areas of life that can apply to. Relationships, for one, or even just like life emotions and stressors. Like you may, like for example, there's always signs. There will always be signs of when you're sort of slipping back into that devil energy, which is like addictions, negative coping mechanisms, etc. Like for me, I can tell that I need more self-care because literally it will be all around me. Like it'll show up all around me. My laundry will start piling up, just needing to be put away. You know, random little things need to be cleaned up, or I'm just like spending way more time on social media, etc. And it's like, okay, I need to pause and just sort of clean up my life a little bit, have some self-care time, get back on track. You know, and it's like I can consciously acknowledge, okay, slipping back into the old ways, that's going to lead to depression if I keep going down this road. Let me do the things to not do that. Or like, let's just say you're a recovering addict and you find yourself sort of slipping down the mental thought patterns that lead you to relapse. And you're like, wait a second, let me talk about this. Let me unpack this. Let me do the things, you know? So I think that's great. We have the Hanged Man in reverse, second row of cards now. The Three of Wands in reverse. And the Three of Swords in reverse. Okay, so we got 2 threes, both in reverse, coming out on the second row, right next to each other. The number 3 is about expansion. I just wrote something last night. Out of the blue. It was kind of like a channeled thing that was talking about how in life, the energy moves in expansion and contraction, okay? Like the heartbeat, okay? It expands, it contracts. It expands, it contracts. Life itself moves in the same way. So you might be in a period, like you might have a week, for example, where everything's going amazingly. You're really growing, you know, you're building a lot of momentum in various areas of life. Like your relationships are improving. You're very productive. You get a lot of work done. You really push yourself physically to achieve new levels of strength. And the thing is, you can't just keep going. I've tried many times. You can't just keep going. You know, you have a week like that, and then what happens? You need to retract for like 1 to 3 days. Purposefully. Have a rest day. I think working out is a great example of this. It's like you can go to the gym 5 days in a row, tearing your muscles up, but then you need a rest day to let those muscles literally repair themselves. Otherwise, you're not actually growing your muscles and becoming stronger, because those muscles grow when you're sleeping and resting. And life, everything in life moves like that. You know, we do something We do, we act, we grow. But then we have to step back a little bit and integrate, reflect, and incorporate that growth. It's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The doing is the divine masculine. The integrating, reflecting, absorbing is the divine feminine. You can't have one without the other, or that will lead to a lot of problems. And so, Capricorn, I feel like you are becoming more at peace with that concept. And this is one of Capricorn. Like, if you have a major Capricorn placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, this is like one of the big Capricorn, like, karmic lessons, I feel, is to learn that you need to rest and recover. You can't just constantly be on your grind, you know? And so that's what I see in these 2 threes that are coming out in reverse here. Also, 3 of Swords is another card that's more positive when it's in reverse than when it is upright. Because it shows past heartbreak, wounds, pain, suffering. It's letting go. You know, you're letting go of it, you're releasing it. It's no more. You're pulling the swords out of the heart. Which is great. This whole week is very, like, growth-oriented, it seems. 3 of Wands in reverse, it can feel uncomfortable for you, specifically Capricorn, when you're not actively in that masculine doing, like physically doing and seeing the growth, okay? That can feel uncomfortable for you, but you just have to trust in the divine feminine, and that growth happens in rest as well. You know, where I live, it is autumn, and a lot of the trees are losing their leaves. Now, all throughout winter, it may look like there's nothing going on, but winter is it is active, even though on the surface it doesn't look like anything's going on. A lot of plants work on their roots during the winter, so even though we can't see growth, they're actually becoming much more grounded, stable, and solid. There is growth going on, and the same thing with you, Capricorn. I don't know why I was about to call you Leo and Libra. I'm wondering if any of you are a Leo or Libra. Everyone say hi to Luna in the comments, or she will perish. She needs attention constantly. So yeah, Capricorn, it can be very uncomfortable for you to just rest as you recover. But I assure you, you may actually be more productive in your rest and recovery than if you were to keep trying to push yourself and push. Sometimes that exertion can be destructive. And sometimes the most productive thing to do is to not do anything at all. Okay? So keep that in mind. If it resonates, it resonates. You'll know where this would resonate in your life. Whether that's physical, I feel like it is physical for a lot of you. You know, it's more productive. Like if you're sick, if you're injured, it's more productive to just rest than to try to push it. Or if you, and when I talk about sickness and injury, it doesn't just have to be physical. It could also be emotional, mental. If you just went through massive grief or heartbreak, it's like just taking a moment away from trying to push yourself socially, like, oh, I'm going to go do this social thing and that social thing, and I'm going to meet this new person and that new person, you know, creating space to just let yourself simmer in your own heartache and recover, you know? Valid. So leave a comment down below. What are you resting, relaxing, recovering from? I'd like to know, okay? I'm a Capricorn moon myself. I just overcame an illness literally these past 2 days. I feel better now. I hope I don't get sick again with this reading. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Thank you guys. Bye.